Hey guys, this is Miranda, episode 3 of Broke Barista Life. I'm your Broke Barista, and today we're going to be learning how to make lattes. So last episode that we talked about coffee recipes, we talked about espresso. Everybody's favorite thing to do with espresso is make a latte. That's what you get asked most often in a coffee shop. People want to drink, so I'm going to teach you how to do that at home. I'm going to do iced and hot, the way that I do it with the equipment that I have. Iced first, so then I can drink my latte, and then I'll show you how hot. So, first thing we got to do is we got to make an espresso shot. So, same thing as before, 21 grams of beans, we're going to grind it. You want to heat your water to between 205 and 208. I don't have a thermostat on this. This was a budget buy for tea, my little kettle. But I've worked with it enough to know that as soon as it shuts off, I pour it in. By the time it gets, the way this one works, by the time it gets into my aeropress and already it's 208. So, you want to measure that if you don't know. 16, 7, too many. 21 grams. Got some Ethiopian here. While that's sitting there waiting for the water, we're going to set up our aeropress filter in the bottom, and we're just making a single shot latte. That's what I normally drink. That's what I'm preparing. If you want double, just double your beans and double your water. Press it through, and then you can make a double shot. However many you want to make a latte. Possible with my sprinkles. Second filter. Just push that little filter in there. This is ready to brew the espresso as soon as everything else is done. So, now I'm going to measure out my syrup and my milk. Do you want to tear it off? We're using fluid ounces. So we're going to put 8 ounces of milk. I like whole milk. You can use whatever you like for the iced latte. It doesn't matter. 8 ounces. And then I use the same proportion that we did at the coffee shop I worked at. I put 1 ounce total of whatever syrup sauces I'm using by weight. Today I have peppermint and a white chocolate sauce I made. So I'm putting half and half. So it'll be half an ounce one, half an ounce the other. Oh, it's not too sweet, but you get that nice flavor in there. save your milk so it don't go bad. Because then you wake up the next morning, you have a sour latte, and you're depressed. Alright, that's all ready. We need our milk. And heat our water, make sure, since mine doesn't stay, I just put it back up to boiling before I use it. Make sure my temperature is correct. That affects how well your espresso, all the flavor comes out and everything. Alright, I'm going to heat my cup a little bit. Make sure that the espresso doesn't get shocked whenever it gets poured in by the cold temperature of the mug, because that will make it die. No dead beans allowed. Ounce and a half water, and now we worship the bean gods. Okay. Shot of espresso, and this is just a little bartender shaker. I think this one's 24 ounces. It's nice to have big, so that way you have room for ice and everything. Yeah. So, put a few blocks of ice in here. You're gonna have to figure out, according to whatever size, shape ice blocks you have, how many you should put in there, because I figured out if you put too many, then you're wasting ice. But if you don't put enough, if you don't put enough, they wind up melting. Your latte isn't cold enough. Also, I have those little regular normal ice cubes, and I put 3 of them in there. If y'all have that type of ice cube, that's what I would suggest. If you want to put more, you can, but you don't need to. Ice in my cup. And shake it, baby, get on it. And you want to flip it upside down when you shake to make sure all that syrup gets mixed in. If it's settled at the bottom, otherwise the cold is just going to freeze there and you'll have very little flavor. Alright. There, Broke Barista homemade iced latte. She makes me happy. I like her. Okay, on to the hot latte. So, hot latte, we're gonna do the same thing. Shot of espresso, 21 grams of beans, heat our water. The thing that changes here is when we get to the milk. That can be where lattes get tricky, especially making them at home on a budget. 14. 21 grams espresso beans. try. It's comical though. Okay. Espresso. Now, I like to use, for hot lattes or anything heated, you can do it on the stove with a thermometer. Measure your temperature, make sure you don't burn the milk. I like to use, I got this, it's a Haddon Eon, if I'm saying that correctly, strange name brand. This was a budget buy whenever I was coming up to start doing hot drinks for winter. It was $30 when I bought it. Now on Amazon, it's like $70. It doesn't have many functions. It comes with this for if you're just heating milk. Little thing, it just clips in here and it stirs it. And then you can do, I had got this one because it heats the milk, or you can also do cold foam, it doesn't heat. And then this is for foaming. So it can heat, it can foam, it can do cold, but there's no temperature control. You can't control how thick or anything the foam does. So if you're trying to do cappuccinos versus lattes, macchiatos, different things, this isn't a great idea. And also, I just use whole milk, so it's okay for me to start. Eventually, I have others listed on my site that I'd like to get. If you're using any milk other than whole milk, you're going to want something different because different milks have different burning points. This is any sort of milk frother that doesn't have temperature control. They don't specify, but they turn off about 150, which is where regular milk burns, cow milk area. Others, like almond milk off the top of my head, burns at 120. You can't just throw any sort of milk in here and expect a good latte to come out, any heated drink, because you're going to have burnt milk. So, if you're drinking something else, you either want to do it on the stove, and then you'll heat it on the stove, and you want to use a little hand mixer like this. This is to foam it. You can control it, how much foam. It takes a bit of practice, but you can. It's just how your angle, different things. You have to figure it out for yourself, unfortunately, because it's not like in a coffee shop where you have an actual steamer and I can just tell you 45-degree angle, different things. It's funny, and then you're going to be using different cups if you don't have an actual little pot like I do. I don't have one. I didn't buy one. We broke. I'll get one eventually. But different options. You need to look at what's best for you. What are you doing? I have different options on the site, different things I suggest. Take what sort of milk and what you're going to be making into consideration before you go purchase something. That being said, I have my little mixer in there. I'm not foaming it because it's a latte. Okay, we're going to put 8 ounces of milk. not going to put any syrup in here. Put that cover on. Plug my little basin. And there we go. Okay, so we have our espresso. We're not going to brew this through until our milk is all heated and ready because we don't want them to die. But we can be all ready. Alrighty, let's see. Milk just shut off. Ounce and a half of water. Heat my little cup again. And worship the bean gods all over again. Alright. Espresso. Work quickly. Our milk. A little bit of foam on top she makes. Espresso. Now we have a nice hot latte. Sugar, whatever syrup you want in there. Like I said, for the iced one, an ounce of syrup or sauce, or however much you like. Enjoy. See y'all next time.